This morning we're just getting the rest of our bedding plants in. I got some subarctic tomatoes to plant before they wilt too much, and I got some cherry tomatoes. So we're just going to see if we can get these guys out of their container and they don't always come out that easy. Should have brought my garden scissors. There. Get these. I'm just going to plant one of these, then one cherry tomato. One of those. Try and get them apart without they get too big in these little containers and there's not enough dirt, so they struggle unless you water them twice a day. Well, you can see here I soaked the hole. I filled the hole up with water. Make sure that its ground is really saturated, so when I transplant them I can get them down and bury them right up to the bottom leaves, and then I'll water on top. Hopefully that'll keep them now when I'm watering. I'd like to build a little spot. This big ridge is for later, but this is what I'd kind of do, so I can water each individual plant without drowning around the plant itself. I just make a nice little moat there and fill that up with water. It can drain down in, like these are just pack these little guys down in there, and some of them are a little bit crooked, but that's kind of the way I do it. So I can keep my soil in, so I'm just watering around the plant and not watering the whole garden. There. Just fix this up a little bit. There we go. Well, I just got a few more down there to do, and catch up with you in a bit. I'm gonna set them up on their own little island. Just soak it around I found that they like to pull the moisture from the bottom. They don't really like their stalk being all watered and soaked when they're just little guys. When they're bigger, they don't care so much, but when they're little, so that's the way I water them. I'll take you a look. Got a few flowers I have to get planted. And look at the cucumbers. Planted these cucumbers the other day. If you watched the videos, I wasn't sure if they would all grow, so I planted extra, and it looks like they all grew. A few little weeds are starting to grow. But these weeds, they get less and less because I don't water the weeds. I just water right in the row where the ridge is like that, and it keeps the moisture around the plants where they're needed. But there's lots of cucumbers coming, so I just got the rest of these planted. Some little guys, a few more I got to plant outside, and we'll be done with the greenhouse. So there's a little garden update. I got the potatoes all hilled up so I could give them a little drink of water. They're starting to come pretty good, but been so dry. So amazing, there's still a little moisture in there, but I just hill them up really nice, just leave the top sticking out a little bit, and that way I got a little ridge on each side, so it's easy to water. But yeah, she's looking good. We'll have a peek at the other patch. I got 3 plants of really nice red rhubarb here. It should have been big enough to cut already once, but I just got it watered up, and it kind of looks like my big raspberry patch winter killed. So this one's all nice and green. This is a wild raspberry that actually just wound up growing in here. But yes, got some new small shoots, but the bigger ones, most of them, they're looking pretty dead. There's the odd one little leaf on top. That's not going to make lots of raspberries the last couple of years, and usually only get 2 or 3 years that's really good, and then you get a bad one. So yeah, we'll jump in here and have a peek. A beautiful little Saskatoon bush here. It's wild, it's coming, it's had some blossoms, so, and my apple trees got a few leaves last year. I just planted them a couple years ago this year, and it's looking like we got one branch that's alive and the rest could be dead. And this one over here is kind of the same. The top looks like it's all dead, but there's a couple of little green shoots here. There. Well, maybe it'll come back. Somebody was in my garden digging, so I'm gonna have to give someone a spanking. She figures because I dig in the garden, she can dig in the garden. So yeah, I guess I got about 110 hills of potatoes. A few more than I was going to plant, but just the way it worked out. So I got them hilled. These ones I just about buried. Some of them the tops just barely sticking out, and they'll jump up. They'll be couple of weeks would make a big difference. So we'll just kind of hide a little garden beside the wood pile. That all the way down over there, all the way to the mill was a garden last year. And I'm going to summer follow that piece, work it all up, and maybe do some building over there. So that's why it's not worked up yet.